Hello and welcome to another edition of the College Football Mafia Bombers Blitz. It's a call-in show I do once a week. If you can hear me or can't hear me, let me know because I got a new wireless headphones. So I want to make sure that I can hear you and you can hear me. I think it's working. My little meter says you're getting voice, so hopefully it works. But I wanted to have something I was a little bit more free with, and a wireless headset allows me to do that. So welcome everybody to another edition of Bombers Blitz, our call-in show that we do once a week, Tuesday nights, and we can talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I've got topics. We can quickly run through topics, ideas that have sort of come across my desk in the last couple days. Or we can talk about something completely different. If you guys have ideas or want me to get into something, just leave a comment or question. I read all super chats. To do a super chat donation to the show, next to the comment box, you'll see a little dollar bill picture. Click that. Sorry, there's something in my eye just popped in there. Click that. I would happily take super stickers and any super chats you want to give me. Default to members comments. Those are all the comments that have the little S next to the name in the comment section. Those are valuable members of the College Football Mafia family. If you'd like to become a member, also click that $sign and you should be able to go in and become a new member. We have all kinds of new member videos coming out constantly. In the last couple weeks, Moen's put out 2, and they'll continue to go during the season. So, yeah, I would just encourage everybody to look in our library on the main College Football Mafia page, and in the middle of the page, there's a long list of menus, and I believe it's subscribers. Is that right? Let me make sure. I haven't been there in 2 minutes, so give me 1 second. I want to make sure I give you the right term. So tonight, a couple things to lead you off with. If you're a fan, of college football, you have to know who Mike Gundy is. Mike Gundy is a guy that has been around for more than 20 years at Oklahoma State. He took a pay cut in the offseason. Let's see. Let me tell you what it is. It is membership. It says membership. That's the menu. You can go through and see all of our member videos and get into those. All right. I do have a little rant. It's not so much a rant as it is just an explanation of kind of things that have gone on in college football just in the last little bit. And I'm going to have to scratch my eye because this eye is not behaving well. Some Tuesdays are like that, everybody. You just have to be forgiving for me. I cannot get that out of there. That stings. All right. Anyway, Mike Gundy gets fired. He should have been fired in this last off season, in my opinion. But he basically said, take some of my money and salary and you put it to NIL or wherever else you want to put it for operations. And yeah, we'll run this thing back. Well, they've looked about the worst program in all of college football this year. And Mike Gundy has just lost it. He's just lost it. He's not part of the flow. He's lost the thread of the story. And that's really important because if you lose that, then you start losing your recruiters, you lose your boosters. They don't know what they're giving you money for. And any money that went to NIL this last season, I would say, while it might not have been wasted, it certainly wasn't maximized. And I'm imagining that's going to be in the millions of dollars the donors gave. And now we don't have a team that is winning. So Oklahoma State forcibly runs off Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State. I do have a comment here, just a quote from Chad Weiberg, who is the athletic director at Oklahoma State. And he says, moving forward, it is critical for our fans, alumni, and donors to align behind Cowboy football. This is a pivotal moment. The stakes have never been higher, and we need everyone on board. So he's basically saying, we're going to be doing a search. We're going to find a coach that's going to meet the needs that we have, and we need everybody pulling in the same direction. That means people members, boosters, are not supposed to be sniping at Oklahoma State from behind the curtain. Instead of being negative and only talking about what you don't have, let's turn it around, flip the script, and let's talk about stuff we do have, and let's sell this program. Because Oklahoma State has a storied football program. They've been around and played top-tier football forever, have had some amazing players, and right now they're just down a little bit. I just think that they should have gotten rid of him last offseason. Then you would have avoided all this mid-season crap. So anyway, there's that. We can talk about the newly released top 25. Let's see here. And we can also talk, and I'm not sure if the Utah fans have come out from under the rocks. I've also got this story that Kyle Whittingham was basically slapped on the wrist, warned certainly about not using the injury reports the way they're supposed to be used. It goes against the spirit of the way they've been used in the past. And it came out that Devin Dampier, the starting quarterback for the Utes, didn't practice 2 days last week. So I'm not saying he has to sign a blood oath that all his players are going to play. That's not the purpose of the injury report. Purpose of the injury report is twofold. One, tells your fans what they should expect, right? Your fans now know, oh, well, he's playing, but he didn't practice for 2 days a week. There's nothing wrong in disclosing that. You just put questionable as one of the options, right? So there's a bunch of options that Kyle Whittingham refuses to participate in. More stuff that Utah just won't adapt and join the Big 12. And they wonder why they start to have disaffected fans. I would say this, and I don't know if Moen is in the wing still, but if I was a Vegas bettor and I knew that the quarterback was questionable, the 6.5 point spread or whatever that was would have shrunk and disappeared. You would have had Texas Tech favored in most cases. So who really got ripped off? It's Vegas and the fans. Their expectations got ripped off. So the administration, the athletic department at Utah can continue to do whatever they're doing. It's not affecting anybody. Texas Tech showed up and punched them in the mouth, right? And it's not going to get any better. The rest of the conference it's going to be like this every week. This is not the Pac-12. And I mean that in a derogatory manner. The Pac-12 did not have the defenses that the Big 12 does. The athletes are different. So why don't you guys just go along to get along? If for no other reason, as you're part of a conference, you need to go out and win games to get into the CFP. To do that, you need to obey rules. Not gentlemen's agreements. We're talking actual rules. So we talk about that if you want. I don't know how many people want to continue to be up on Utah. I don't want to talk about Utah at all again until they start winning, frankly. I'll leave that to you. They come in and they really take West Virginia to the woodshed this coming weekend. That's how you start to turn a page, right? Perceptions change when you start winning. But people are feeling burned by the Utes now. So anyway, we could talk about that. I am going to open the phone lines here in a little bit. The phone number is 801-899-6203. As soon as I open those up, I'll let you know once I end the lead here and I do some shout outs for everybody that's here. At the end of the show, if Fergie saw my message, sorry, I had this and then it disappeared for some reason. Let me just, so I don't forget this quote, so I might need to come back to it. There we go. Okay. Fergie wants to talk BYU, Colorado. I do too. So we're going to do that at the end of the show. It should be a lot of fun. Usually by the end of the show, we have a bunch of people watching, so it should be interesting. But BYU, Colorado is this weekend. And Fergie and I are going to talk about that at the end of this regular show. All right, let's do shout outs and then we can move on to whatever topics you guys want to move on to. Although, look at this here. And Moen, or if you're still in the rafters, I do not have the YouTube up for the show. Let me turn that off and see if I can find who those new members are. Give me 1 second. I was doing a lot before the show tonight. So, all right. So Moen did 5 new memberships, and I'm going to get to those right now because that's what we do. We recognize memberships right when they come out. All right. Yeah, they popped right up. So here we go. Moen After Dark's in charge of those College Football Mafia memberships. He is given some of his own, and I really appreciate that. They go to Edward the Auburn Tiger. Welcome. JD Powerhammer. Welcome. Sean Bryant. Alex Siqueiros. I hope. And Hunt 5454. You are all new members because of Moen After Dark. I would encourage you to thank him in the comment section. That came out of his pocket. So if you want to get involved in this community, take these memberships, and after this show, go back and you can watch all our member videos, and I guarantee you it's not wasting your time. Most of those are new members, meaning you haven't been around here for a while. So enjoy, get in, and then leave us comments and questions. Send me a DM on Twitter or Moen or Wild You. Let us know how we're doing on our videos and our content. I would argue and do argue that ours is the best content for the purpose it serves on YouTube. And yeah, I hope everybody enjoys that. So Edward the Auburn Tiger, JD Powerhammer, Sean Bryant, Alex Siqueiros, and Hunt 5454. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you. And make sure everybody's watching now. There's like 50, 60 people watching on YouTube right now. You can't all be old members. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn on your notifications on YouTube and Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Follow the show on Twitter. And turn on those notifications. That way you know when YouTube shows pop up or we put out posts on Twitter so that you can kind of track how we follow the news. And we do a pretty good job, I think. But that's something else you could be doing to get involved. Okay. So now that we've got the most important thing out of the way, which is we get to the super chats, we get to the memberships as soon as we can. So that's why we're doing that right now. Moen says he was first. Deal with it. Yeah, deal with it, everybody. Oh, wait, one more thing I wanted to say. So behind me, there's a flag. Last week, it was half and half flag. Last week, I was showing Kansas, University of Kansas Jayhawks. This week, it's going to be the Kansas State, Kansas State Wildcats. That'll be behind me all week. We're doing a tour. So if your school isn't represented, and I don't have a ton more flags, I got a few more schools. If you want your school to be represented on the banner behind me, send me a DM on Twitter. I'll send you my address and you can send me something. We've got a West Virginia up there from Daniel Gygax, and Daniel also sent me a hat, which I think you can see right down there, right there. It's kind of cool. And then he also has the pennant, which I put up. We're trying to do that. It doesn't have to be a Big 12 school. It could be any school. So if you guys send me something, I will display it. Just want to let everybody know. Okay. Buckshot Kid, a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, saying, oh, hey, Bomber. Good to have you here, Buckshot Kid. Timothy Green, checking in as always, that soldier out there on the East Coast in West Virginia. Hey, guys, my apologies. My internet has been out for a week. Yikes. I couldn't do my job if my internet was out for a week. I just got back today, and everyone, I will be watching Bombers Blitz this evening. You can bet on that. Timothy, you're a stud. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. And he follows that up by saying, by the way, if you're not first, you're last. Way to go, Moen. I can't wait to catch your next live show. He does a good job. Ryan Willey is in the house. Wisconsin Badgers, kind of on a downward ebb right now. It's not great. Barry upset the fan base, to put it nicely. Barry Alvarez, I'm going to guess. I didn't see this news item, Ryan. So if you can give me a reference, something I can look that up, or I could just Google Barry Alvarez, see if I can find out what his quote was. He's OG, man. So I think he's earned the right to say anything he can. or wants to, if that's who it is. If it's a different Barry, then what we'd have to be talking differently. But I think Barry has earned that right. I think you do too. Daniel says, hi, Tim. My mom's internet was also out and must have been Boone County issue. It's a West Virginia issue is what it sounds like to me. To Town Hawk, another valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, saying, hi, Daniel. Thanks for saying hi to me, to Town Hawk. Jeez. Let's see. To Town Hawk says, hope you guys catch Utah on a hangover. Yeah, Daniel, how's West Virginia going to handle Utah? Because even a 75% Daniel Gygat, Devin Dampier is pretty good. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments Rich Rod makes. But Utah has to travel to West Virginia, which I can attest it's a very difficult place to play. So I'm looking forward to that game. And Friday we'll do our preview show. And I want to hear what Ute thinks about what the Utes are going to do to sort of turn this thing around. Because they did not look great last week. Ryan Willey, a $5 super chat, who's also a member of College Football Mafia family, saying, I'm an upset evil Badger. Barry is a grumpy old man. Okay. All right. I'll take your word for that. I know this. If I was a Wisconsin fan, like that was my school, I would be frustrated right now. I'd be frustrated like Oklahoma State fans are frustrated. Rightfully so, by the way. You guys pay all kinds of money to support your school. To have the performances that have come out of some of these schools is just brutal. So I'm trying to adjust my new chair. All right. So anyway, Ryan, thank you so much. Great to see you. Big Lubbock says West Virginia beats Utah. Man, that's calling your shot. That is calling your shot. We'll have to see, I guess. But thanks for your Big Lubbock. It's great to see you here. Congratulations on your win last week. It was really good. Let's see. Yeah, this is a quote. The Texas Tech backup quarterback, he's good. He is good. I don't know who's going to start. If you guys aren't off this week, who are you going to start? I would give your starting quarterback another week if I was you. But Bob Swanger, Penn State Nittany Lions checks in. Good to see you, Bob. Hey, everyone. Valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Sean has been a recent member. We miss him, but it's great to see him on a Tuesday night. Hi, Sean. Hi, guys, is what Sean says. Let's see. I'll try to get to as many. Here we go. Big Lubbock says, I hope ASU beats TCU. All right. Well, and then he hopes everybody beats TCU, and then he says everybody beats Utah. Man, you're on a heater. Is what it looks like to me, Lubbock. Anyway, let me get to some more new comments from people. Moen, I don't know, just sounds like an excuse for getting their ass handed to them by the Red Raiders. I don't think it's an excuse. I think it's an explanation. It answers a lot of questions that Utah fans especially were asking, like, what is this? I know you went to the game and was extremely pissed on his way home. He couldn't even really have a conversation about it. He was so upset. Didn't know what to be upset about. Who is he mad at? If I was you guys, if I was a booster for Utah, I'd be pissed at your coaching staff. I'd be pissed at Kyle Whittingham. And I would, we'll have to see how this season goes. But if Utah loses 4 games, I think he needs to retire. I think Kyle Whittingham, Dabo Sweeney, Mike Gundy, all are cut out of the same cloth. 20-year plus coaches win a lot of games, but the game of college football has evolved and passed them by. That's my opinion. So the thing that gets me is the Vegas betting. I don't know how Vegas is okay with any of that. Anyway, Tony Lawson, good to see you, Tony. It's been a minute. You've been missed. I've missed you. Timothy Green, you got a big game this week. Yep. Everybody's looking forward to that game, I think. West Virginia hosting the University of Utah. Jack Matheson says, as a Utah fan, I'm sick of the way the athletic department has toyed with fans. You could not be more right, Jack. Here, I'm going to post the link. I'm going to post the link to this reply Now, mind you, this is a reply from Kyle Whittingham after something happened. He didn't post this after the game, so I posted the link. It's an actual it's an announcement from Utah Athletics, and it's a quote from, and you guys just tell me if you think this is okay. Quarterback Devin Dampier did not appear in last week's player availability report because while he was limited in practice early in the week, his status of playing in last Saturday's game versus Texas Tech was never in question. He's gaslighting us. That's not the purpose of the injury report. We have spoken to the conference and have clarified the guidelines moving forward. So I guarantee you that's not going to happen anymore. They're going to get called out by the Big 12 Conference next time. I can almost guarantee you there might be a fine. There's other ways that they can make Utah look foolish by continuing to do this gamesmanship nonsense. 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was allowed because and nobody was really looking at injury reports. The games weren't as tight as they are now. Now every week, games are nail biters. These teams are so much closer than they've ever been before. You can't do stuff like this. So if he's still hurt by the end of this week, Devin Dampier will be on the questionable list. Doesn't mean he's not going to play in the game. It just means he's hurt. You're just letting everybody know he's hurt. And that there's nothing wrong with that. So I posted the link. You guys go and watch that. Read the comment from your coach and let me know what you think. I'm going to be opening up the phone lines. I'd love to hear from Utah fans on how they feel about this, because of everybody, Utah fans have been screwed with for the last 3 years on quarterback drama. All of it quarterback injuries. An entire season. It was game 10 2 seasons ago before they found out that Cam Rising was going to be out for the year. Never had intended to play. And they strung along the entire fan base. I think Kyle needs to retire. I really do. This is not going to get better, in my opinion. The stable, Boise State. Good to see you, man. It's been a minute since I've seen you too. Welcome back to the show. How much do you bench press? Me? If you're asking me, like 10 pounds. I'm not sure. If you're asking me that question, I don't bench press unless I absolutely have to. I'm not going to. I don't lift weights. Tempest checking in, valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Sad about Gundy. Yeah, it's never good. Maybe if you're an Oklahoma State fan, you might be celebrating today, but it isn't good when coaches get run. That's never a good thing. Steve Moser, another valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, saying Wild Ute will say they're going 11-1 and winning their games by 10 touchdowns. He may do that, Steve. I don't know. Moen and I haven't really talked to him. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's got a status report. He said he's okay, and he does think positive about the rest of the season. I don't know how much of that sort of wins out. We won't know for a while, I don't think. The stable says Utah stock is falling. Okay. Let's see. Paul. Let's see. Lubke? Do I have that right, Paul? Paul Lubke? I try to get people's names right. Can the Cyclones beat Arizona with only a walk-on freshman kicker available? That's rough. I don't know. Yeah, I would say they could beat them. How good is Arizona? We know how good Iowa State is. Arizona hasn't really played anybody, so we don't know what we're going to get. Now, they have a quarterback that's been there now in the system. This is his 3rd year. Everybody expects him to play well. But Tataroa McMillan is gone. His lead, he went in the 1st round in the NFL draft. So I don't know who he's throwing to. I don't know much about the Arizona team, University of Arizona. I don't know. So we'll come to find out. But I think Iowa State, going off of the way they've played, I think Iowa State is better. But I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm happy to admit it. Chris G, Sup Bomber. Good to have you here, Chris. I missed you, brother. Thanks for showing up. Yes. All right. Let's see here. Let me get Ryan Willey. Why don't you call in right now? I'm just seeing your note now. Okay, so everybody hold up. I'm going to ask Ryan Willey to call in. I want to hear from him. So Ryan, call in right now, 801-899-6203. And then I'll shut down the phones after I get done talking to Ryan, and then I'll get through comments, and then I'll open the phone lines back up. Let me see if I can get call in right now, Ryan. Clint Moses checking in. Utes haven't won a bowl game in 8 years. These are facts, people. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I don't know. It's true, though. Call in right now, Ryan. 801-899-6203. Here we go.
Call from
Evil Badger.
Evil Badger, how are you doing, Ryan? What? Okay, go ahead.
I talked to Greg earlier tonight and told him what Debris said on his show last night.
Okay.
He basically called the fans spoil rotten, and he told the fans that if they want to boo, they can boo at a bar.
Oh, wow.
Because he doesn't want them there.
Wow, really? So is he still the AD there?
No, he is no longer the AD.
Okay.
But he does do a talk show on Monday nights on ESPN Madison.
Okay.
And they have it on YouTube. And when I seen him see that, it floored me.
So tell me.
One, I don't.
Yeah, tell me why.
They can afford to tell fans to stay home. Either the UW chancellor or president gave McIntosh, the AD, a vote of confidence after McIntosh gave Fickle a vote of confidence.
Right.
And
why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Why are they giving him a vote of confidence? I don't quite understand.
Well, in my opinion, the vote of confidence is a kiss of death.
It is. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, it is.
I don't know. They're basically taking fans for granted right now.
Right.
They were giving away tickets. They were selling the tickets for $10 because the service section was basically empty.
Right.
The rest of the stadium was like 2/3 full.
Yeah, that's not good.
And yet they're telling the fans to basically keep quiet.
Yeah, I don't think that's okay. So if that's all in context, then I think Barry Alvarez is a get off my lawn guy now. I think that's a stupid thing to say. Because
that's why I said
fans
that I believe he's going to be old man.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, I have nothing but respect for the guy. I mean, what he did at Wisconsin for so long was, great. But now he's like an old man sitting on his porch. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys have a bye week this week?
Yes, we do. And then we play Michigan at Big Noon Kickoff.
Well, there you go. That's a fun one to look forward to.
At the big house.
That's even better. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not saying you're going to win the game, but that certainly is a fun event to do.
Like I told Greg, I don't think Wisconsin will win another game this year.
Ouch. Yeah, we went through 2 weeks ago. We went through your schedule, and it didn't look very easy.
He did say one possibility was Minnesota itself. So I might get him the easy cheeseburger at the end of the season. But
Okay. Well, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it. Thanks for your
right.
super chat and being on tonight. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Ryan Willey, OG around here, somebody who's supported us from the very beginning. I really, really am grateful to him, everything he's done for us, and we'll continue to do what we can to service his Wisconsin Badgers. Yeah, it sounds to me like, I mean, Oklahoma State won what, 2 games last year? And they fired their coach. They should have done it in the offseason. You guys can argue with me on that if you want. Call in and argue with me, but I think that's how I would look at it. They should have done it in the offseason, just go through the pain then. They were trying, I don't know. How do you fire a legend is what it essentially comes down to. And if you can fire Mike Gundy, you can fire anybody. You could fire Dabo Swinney. You could fire Kyle Whittingham. They might not come across as firings, but those things could happen. There's only a few more comments, and then I will open the phone calls back up for everyone. Let me work down here from the bottom. Daniel has it right, what Ryan just said. The vote of confidence means he's out the door. Yeah, you never want to get a vote of confidence. Thunder, OU Sooner. Good to see you, man. I know I've seen you before. I appreciate you coming back. John Mateer injury overshadowed Mike Gundy getting fired. This is new to me. I didn't know he got hurt. That sucks. Can somebody give me an update on that one? Just put it in the comments what his status is, because John Mateer, I had him on my Heisman watch, and I have Oklahoma getting to the SEC championship game. So that sucks. I don't want to hear that. He also, Thunder OU Sooner also says Oklahoma State has to immediately find a new coach to stabilize the football program. Yep. You're exactly right. Yeah. God, that sucks. Mateer's hurt. I don't want to hear that. Buckshot Kid says, Bomber, you need a new thumbnail of yourself. You don't look that heavy. I'm not heavy. Talk to Moen. Moen made that. He made me look heavier. I'm not a heavy guy, but from public demand, he'll change it. He's not going to change it if I just say, hey, I look a little overweight. He doesn't do stuff like that for me. So if you guys don't like the way it makes me look, then ask him to slim it down. But I don't care that much about it. Once I saw it and I was like, that's fun. It's like a jolly guy. I'm okay with that. Anyway, thank you so much, Buckshot Kid. Again, it's great to see you. And one more comment, and then we're going to open up the phone lines. Get right to the phones today. I think if one Big 12 school wins the football and men's basketball championship in the same academic year, the other 15 schools should pay that one school $3 million from each school. Hey, I would be okay, or open it up for the fans to pay it, Lubbock. I think I would love for there to be a national championship reward from the conference. I don't think you're going to get it from the schools, though. So maybe you could do something like that, but take it out of the bonuses that everybody gets from the bowl games and from all the credits they get from the NCAA. It sounds like a silly idea, but I'm sure there might even be one right there now. If you're a Big 12 school and you win a national championship in men's basketball or college football, there maybe already is a bonus in there and we just don't know about it. Anyway, it's a fun idea to think about. All right. I am through all the comments I was going to read, except for a couple more that got here at the end. Trent Brown, my brother's namesake, not my brother. It's very, very fun viewer, and we love having him around here. Wild Ute had some pretty interesting comments on PATC yesterday about the Big 12. I missed him. What did he say? I can only imagine some of the stuff he could say. Yeah. Florida man, good to have you here, man. Florida and Oklahoma State should just switch coaches. I apologize to Florida fans that I didn't mention Billy Napier. He should have been fired last year too. Dabo isn't on that list, but the other three, I think Kyle should have left on his own. Mike Gundy should have left on his own, and I think they should have fired Napier. But who am I? Nobody listens to me. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Here's the update on Mateer. John Mateer has a broken thumb on his throwing hand during the Auburn first quarter of the Auburn game. Sorry, during the Auburn game. That sucks. I hadn't heard that. 4 weeks out, according to Sean. That sucks. Oklahoma has a very difficult schedule. How good is your backup quarterback? I don't know anything about your backup quarterback. That really sucks. Yeah, that really sucks. I feel bad about that. Okay, so let me open up the phone lines and we will talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. We'll go until I switch, and we'll just go from call to call. So call in right now, 801-899-6203. Call in and tell me what you think, how this last week went, and kind of looking forward to the week ahead, which would be week 5. And here we go. Right now.
Call from
Trent Brown.
Trent Brown. Now, how are you doing? It's nice to meet you.
You as well, man. Long-time listener, first-time caller. So thanks for having me on.
Of course, anytime. Every time you're in the comments, it always brings a smile to my face.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I'd love to meet up with you sometime at a game or something.
We could absolutely do that. I've done that before. Yeah, we could absolutely do that. We can talk offline, but that could be something fun we could do.
Perfect. Yep, would love to do that. Hey, yeah, real quick, just I was out of town yesterday, but listening to Peek Around the Corner, and he of course had a lot of comments about the Big Ten and potential expansion. And as we know, as Cougar fans, Utah's on kind of that shorter list of 10, 11 schools. And so Wild Ute called in to PATC and was talking quite a bit of I don't want to say he was degrading the Big 12, but just talked about how they created all these Big 12 shirts last year when Utah joined the conference. Nobody bought them. They were so kind of already above and beyond what the Big 12 was. And yeah, while Ute was saying that as impressed as he was after the game, he was so excited to listen to Pflugar's show, talking about the potential basically of Utah getting in there to the Big Ten. So yeah, just talked about how much better they are academically. They're not a cultural fit. Big 12 doesn't work. And so it's just still kind of this attitude that I don't understand. Despite, well, if it wasn't for the Big 12, they'd be out there in the Pac-12 still, just kind of floating around in no man's land. So, man, I just wish that they would embrace it. And, it's probably 50-50 whether they eventually get into the Big Ten or not, maybe even less than that. And so,
I don't think it's even close to 50%. If it's a percentage, it's 5, maybe 8%, something like that.
Yeah, and you may be right, but man, just embrace where you're at, love where you're at. It's always so great to be hated in some ways, but just go out there and prove it on the field. Not just football, but basketball. They're awful. Most Olympic sports, they're terrible, right? So you've got to prove it on the field and embrace where you're at, and let's go out there and help each other out.
Yeah, I don't know if I bookmarked it so I could get to it quickly, but on Twitter, either today or yesterday, I think it was a USF booster said something about how their end goal is to get to the ACC. Really, no, it isn't. It's to be in the Big Ten. But you got to excel where you're at. And he said, we're here to represent the ACC or AAC, regardless of what our dreams are to go somewhere else. Wisdom, right? That's real wisdom that Utah has simply not been able to grasp. And I don't know what the fix. There is no fix. But them just being negative is not going to get them an invite to the Big Ten. It's not. That's not how it works.
What baffles me a little bit as well is a third of the Big 12 conference now is the old Pac-12, right? It's not that far off, honestly.
Right. Well, you're not wrong. I think at the end of the day, Utah needs to make a decision. If they really just don't want to be in the Big 12, they can leave. Take their media value with them. They can go to a place like the Pac-12, dominate, and then eventually get that that magical call. But right now, is the Big 12 going to miss Utah if they're gone?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I mean, here's where it's hard, right? Because I love the rivalry. I love just stomping them in every single sport except for sometimes football. But it just makes sense, right? They're close by. They're a fit. It's fun to have them around, and so yeah, that's just kind of my thought on that whole thing. Is I like having them in the conference. and I wanted to be here as long as they want to be here. I just don't love this elitist attitude, and even academically, right? I went there for 8 years. I used to teach up there. As I told you before, I was a student athlete up there.
Right.
I get it, but man, they are much closer and aligned with, in my opinion, Big 12 schools than they do with some of the other conferences. So
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't want to go too down the rabbit hole, but
That's
man,
okay.
I just wish that they would embrace this, because I like them in our conference, and I think it's fun and enjoyable. Of course, Holy
I would
Wars
just ask
is one of a kind,
you this, and maybe I'll do this on Friday. If you would have beat Texas Tech, would your attitude be any different?
yeah,
Because
that could be true.
their attitude about the Big 12 would be different.
I
Still would think they're
so
better than the
too.
Big 12, but then they would have said, yeah, but it's okay because we're going to come here, we're going to dominate for a few years, and then we're going to get the call up.
Yeah,
Which is a better investment, a down Utah or an up Utah? It's
right,
kind
yeah,
of, it's really kind of stupid thinking to say, yeah, we're gonna go to the Big 10 because we're sucking so bad in the Big 12.
yeah. And again, I respect the heck out of Utah and some of the things that they've done, and back from their Mountain West days when we were there, they've obviously grown and done some great things. But and I respect the heck out of Wild Ute, and he has great commentations and comments, and
Sure.
18 months ago, back when they first got invited to the Big 12, he was all in. And so now that there's this inkling of thought that they could potentially progress, it's almost like they've already wiped their feet and they've already moved on.
Yeah, if
Anyway,
that's his attitude, I think it's extremely short-sighted. They're not going to the Big 10 anytime soon. The only way anybody
yeah,
goes anywhere is if these conferences go bigger than 20 schools.
yeah,
And I cannot
yep,
see a Big 10 or an SEC going past 20 schools. And the Big 12 may, just to bring in the best brands of the ACC, but again, there wouldn't
yep,
be a necessarily need to do it. So
yeah,
this was all started by an article in August, right before the season kicks
yeah,
off. A guy does a social media post and said, "Hey, by the way, in case you forgot," and this is Brett McMurphy. I did a story 3 years ago that said Utah was on the expansion list for the Big 10, and they were like team 12 or 13 at the time. Just being mentioned does not mean you're the first to be taken. So I just don't know. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
yeah. No, that's I agree with you. Once they start getting to 22, 23, it gets diluted pretty quick, right? Like once
It
you move
does.
beyond Florida State or the Miamis,
Yeah.
man, just that value goes down probably 60-70%, right? So
Well,
that's kind of my thought on that.
yeah, I think you have hit the nail. At the end of the day, if the Big 10 wants to expand, they're welcome to do that. Of course, they can bring in as many schools as they want, but just because you're willing to go in at a zero share, say Utah is willing to join the Big 10 like SMU did. They were going to pay their own way
Uh-huh.
in. You didn't have to pay them any media money for a decade. How does that help the Big 10? It still doesn't help the Big 10
Yeah,
at all. All you've done is you're
yeah,
subsidizing bringing in a school that brings essentially no value into your conference. How does that make your conference look? So
right.
it's all asinine backwards thinking, in my opinion. But whatever.
Yeah, no, and I think just like you said, like with the ACC being an SMU, if anything, that makes in some ways ACC look, second rate in some
Well,
ways.
it didn't
I
please
highly
Clemson and
doubt.
Florida State.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm sure they were pissed when it's like, what, SMU, But
Yeah,
anyway.
right. All right.
Well,
Well,
hey,
thanks,
thanks.
Trent.
I appreciate you taking my call, and I'll just DM me sometime, and I'd love to hook up at a game, and we can go share some ice cream or something like that.
That would be great. So yeah, send me a DM on Twitter, and yeah, let's start that
We'll do.
conversation. Okay.
Okay, thanks, man.
Thank
Hey,
you.
thanks so much,
Bye-bye,
Bomber.
Trent Brown.
Take care.
Everybody. My brother's namesake, somebody I love talking to. It's been great around here. Call in right now. Let's talk about what you want to talk about. 801-899-6203. Let's talk about your topic. We don't have to talk Utah anymore if you guys don't want to. I didn't come in wanting to talk about Utah. They did this to themselves today. So 801-899-6203. Here we go. Who we got?
Call from
Tony Rigatoni.
Tony Rigatoni, is that right?
Yeah, how's it going, brother? Spaghetti Mafia. Tony Rigatoni here. How's it going?
Good. I love Mafia. It's great to have you here. I appreciate you
Listen,
calling.
man, I've been hearing some comments on the streets that you've been working with the Alfredo crew. Tell me it ain't true.
No, it's not true.
Tell me
Deny
these
it.
pasta-eating chumps ain't working with you. You were supposed to be with us, the Spaghetti Mafia. We've been around since 1778, and you're going to come around disrespecting us? What kind of bullshit mockery is this? Nah. Don't be laughing there, boy. You pasta-eating chump. You better show Tony Rigatoni some fucking respect, alright? My meatballs aren't to be played with. I got the biggest cannoli in all of the land.
Okay.
You better show me some goddamn respect right now, boy. I'm hurting.
Do you want to talk
I'm
college
hurting
football
right
at all?
now. Listen, man, I'm hurt right now. Tony Rigatoni's hurt right now.
I'm sorry, Tony. I'm not sure.
But
there's
now
nothing
I'm
we
like
can do
laughing
for you.
at me, man. I'm going.
Oh my gosh. I was just about to hit the dump button, but I was intrigued. Tony Rigatoni. I wonder if I can mark that number. Give me 1 second, everybody. Can I mark this to block that number? Let's see. How do I? What do I do now? What does this do? No, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna have to figure out. Somebody's gonna have to tell me how on Google Voice you can block a number. Tony Rigatoni. That was funny. All right. I'm a good sport. I can be a good sport as much as anybody else can. All right. Call in right now. 801-899-6203. All right, here we go. Let's see.
Call from
Caden the Diesel Freak.
Boy, Caden, everybody thought you were high strung.
No, that wasn't me, Nathan. But how
I
are
know
you
it
doing
wasn't.
this
What
evening
I'm saying
besides
is,
that, enough?
yeah, it's a sliding scale, is what I'm saying. How are you doing?
You want to talk college football? Well, the buddy of yours that wants to talk college football is finally here.
Let's go. Let's talk college football.
Um,
What are your observations over the weekend? You and I talked on Saturday, right?
Yeah, and then there was something I wanted to follow up with you on.
Okay.
I was looking at BYU's schedule
Mm-hmm.
an hour ago, and I'm looking at it now, back now. I wanted to point out that the Colorado win on September 27th, that's going to be an easy win for you guys right there. That is an easy one right for you guys.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, I thought it was going to be easier till Salter went out and played as well as he did last week.
But you know what, Nathan, I feel like BYU's defense will hold it up against Colorado's offense. And you know what? I watched BYU's defense the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
I feel like they got a better chance in that one. The West Virginia game, I'd say that's at least a 50-50, but the Mountaineers will bring it, but it's going to be, I'm going to say that game's honestly going to be a close one. Arizona, that's a win. Utah's a win. Against Iowa State, that's going to be a battle. October 25th at Ames.
Yes.
But I know BYU will bring it, and they will bring it all. They will fire in all cylinders like Iowa State. And those are the two teams who I have going to the Big 12 title this year.
Iowa State and
by
BYU.
yours truly. I've got Iowa State, BYU playing the Big 12 title game.
Okay.
Texas Tech. I'm gonna have to honestly say that's 50. That's going to be a close one, but I know BYU will bring it. TCU, I wouldn't be surprised if they won that one. Cincinnati, that's an easy win. UCF, that's an easy win for you guys.
Okay.
But
yeah,
that's
I
just
mean,
my
I think
2 cents.
we got to get through. We got to get through this week, right? BYU's defense.
And that's Colorado.
If people don't know, BYU's defense is top 10 in the nation. In most categories, but they're elite.
You know what, Nathan?
So,
and here's the thing. I've said this for multiple months, and you've heard me on Twitter. You've heard me on social media.
yeah.
I've said people underestimate the Big 12 and they underrate it because that's a conference that, was once that now has really shifted gears now that Alabama's fallen down, Michigan's on the way basically down back to the bottom, and Notre Dame's going back down to the bottom. And and ACC fans, like the whole people I respect from the ACC is Miami. But you know what? Besides them, every other fan base is saying the Big 12 is an irrelevant conference. It's basically the conference of the forgotten teams that were once proud national champions, and also who owned the Big 12. And I've said multiple times, yet people think I'm crazy for saying the Big 12 is coming back like a rising phoenix from the ashes.
Right.
Well, to those people, they know who they are. And I will say this, though. I've said it again for months, and months. Do not underestimate the Big 12. That is a conference that will surprise you, that will come at you, and it is not, there is no question about it. I mean, TCU a couple years ago surprised Michigan and beat them in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yep.
I mean, give Clint Foster's voice credit. That was one heck of a showdown.
Yeah, for sure.
Cincinnati went 13-0, made the playoffs, and then almost brought it to Alabama. So it's not impossible. Arizona State almost brought it down to the wire against Texas last year.
That's true.
So, you know what? I'm going to say this. You never know who shows up from the Big 12 and surprises you. And I said this on the first time I called in, Nathan. You heard me the first time. It could be possibly Ohio State, BYU. And BYU could beat us in an upset blow.
Let's go. Every time you say that, I get excited.
and I said, if they beat us, I will come on here and I will say, I congratulate the BYU Cougars on beating the number one team in the country. But not only that, the reigning, defending, undisputed 9, 10, 11-time champions. I'd say that they've made a mark in their program's history, beating a very, very highly talented and very high-caliber team loaded both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Not many people could say that from the Big 12.
You're right.
But and that's the thing. There's that mountain hump. If they win against, the Big 12, they win against someone like the likes of Ohio State, Penn State, that's another mark on their resume that says this is an elite team. This is not a team that, is not to mess around with. And Box Wagner, right. I know Cincinnati wasn't in the Big 12, but my point is, it's not impossible. It is not impossible. Now, I know you'd be upset if BYU beat Penn State Fiesta Bowl like TCU did to Michigan, but that's just my 2 cents.
Well, I appreciate it.
If that did happen, Penn State, BYU, I have BYU winning that game 2 touchdowns to shut them out. No questions asked. Sorry, Bob.
Well, I appreciate you calling in. It's great to hear from you, Caden. You have a
Nathan,
good week, okay?
Anytime you ever need any questions or anything, if you have any thoughts, please do share it to me. And I'm on Twitter at Caden the Diesel Freak. And don't be afraid to reach out to me, tag me, the whole 9 yards of it. But other than that, go Bucks, and we'll see you next week.
All right, we'll see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's Caden the Diesel Freak. I appreciate that. Trent, I should have remembered to copy you out too. I appreciate when you guys call in. These shows are a lot of fun, and I want to hear from you guys. You guys don't need to hear from me. We're going to go another 25 minutes, depending on if calls are going. And then we're going to do a preview of BYU Colorado at the end of the show. So I'm just previewing that. That should be a fun thing. We'll kind of see how those teams, we anticipate those games washing out this next week. Let's see here. I just wanted to answer this. I'm not sure if he's still here, but extra. No, Immaculate hasn't. We parted with Immaculate about 1.5 years ago. So if you were here back then you were an OG, and I missed you. Where have you been? You should have been here a long time with us. but it's good to have you here. Really quick, let's do a quick reset. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, turn on your notifications, hit that little bell for YouTube and on Twitter, and become a frequent viewer of all the College Football Mafia programs. There's a membership tab in the main menu in the middle of the screen on the YouTube page, College Football Mafia, and hit that membership, and that'll show you all the member videos. And we've got bunches of them, some of the best in the business. I would say they are the best in the business for quality. I really appreciate all the time that everybody puts into those, and we do them for members. So if you're a new member, that's what you're going to get out of it. All right. Phone call. Here we go.
Call from.
Don Alfredo.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Okay. Don Alfredo. This Alfredo thing, I don't know who you are. You know, I'm all into having fun and stuff, but I don't understand why I get the joke was funny once. I'm not upset about it or anything. I just don't know that we have a lot to talk about, to be perfectly honest. So if you want to talk college football, maybe we could do that. But so call in right now, 801-899-6203. And yeah, we'll talk some more about what you want to talk about. Let me get to some more comments while we're waiting for people to call in. Let's see here. Sean talking about BYU's defense, 4-2-5, 3-3-5 defense. It's actually, I'm not even sure it has a name. I call it like the hybrid, because one down, it changes to completely something else. 9-7.
Call from.
Town Hawk.
To Town Hawk, how we doing?
I'm doing all right. Hi, Nate. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. You're not, you don't have an alias that you're the Don Alfredo guy, are you?
No, and I can't sing that high.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm gonna be honest, man. It's been a rough day. Had a parent had surgery today and had a amputation. So.
Oh Lord, I'm so sorry.
Well, it's okay. At least she's gonna keep her mobility and no infection and all that. So things are, like to have a distraction and.
Sure, I'm glad.
I just feel better calling in and talking to you guys. So.
Okay, all right. Well, good.
This is a crazy day. I'm really a throwback Big 8 guy.
Okay.
More than a Big 12 guy. Just because that's what I grew up on.
Sure.
As a kid watching KU and Mizzou go at it for sure. But I'm a little nostalgic tonight, for Mike Gundy getting the axe, which I understand. I completely understand. People are welcome to go if they feel the organization's not going in the right direction. You got to make a change. My problem is, why would you do it on a Tuesday, the day after you put the man up for a weekly press conference? It's like sitting him in front of an executioner. Barry Trammell was sitting there just peppering him with questions after questions about, how do you get it done and this and that. But I just think
agree with you.
That's a lowbrow. That's a lowbrow move in my book.
I could not agree with you. I could not agree with you more. I think it's crappy, and to everybody, all things considered, they should have let him go in the off season. I don't know why they brought him back. It wasn't working.
Absolutely. Even if it was the last, couple of games or something, which KU did, I want to say, 6 or 7 years ago. They did 2018. At the end of the David Beatty, and he finished out the year. But that just I think that's a mirror image of what you see in corporate culture these days.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody puts in what do you say? 30. He's coached or played at Oklahoma State for 36 years.
Yeah, he's
of
an
his life.
assistant coach, and he played there. Yep.
I mean, that's
brutal.
That's a long time. I mean, that's got to be tough.
It makes you wonder what they talked about in this last offseason when he basically said, I'll give you back part of my salary. You guys can use that to hire other coaches and stuff. But he basically begged to keep his job. I never thought that was going to work out.
Yeah. The other thing, the other thing that was very, very, very concerning to me, the AD came out and made that, he made the announcement today, but the other thing that happened today is he happened to get extended another 4 years on his contract.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Which, oh yeah. I mean, there's something that stinks on that to high heaven. I mean, can you imagine somebody from the border region saying, yeah, here's your new contract. We just need you to go do, make an announcement for us.
Yeah, that's
more
brutal.
or less.
You're like the executioner at that point. You know what that tells me is this AD probably isn't long for his job either.
No, but he's got his contract, so he just got his golden parachute buyout.
I know, and I don't know why they would re-up a guy that his athletic department, his Oklahoma State basketball. They won national championships in softball recently. They haven't won in basketball. They haven't won in football. Haven't even won conference championships in some of those sports in a long time. What has he done to justify additional money?
Nothing I can see. I mean,
Nothing
if you're in a fantastic fundraiser, yeah, but when the football program goes in the tank, your fundraising ability kind of goes along with it. So
yep, it does. You're exactly right. It does.
But well,
I'm sorry. You got a lot of people giving you prayers and in the comment section giving you the support you need. I hope
I really do appreciate that. Yes, it's my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, 72 years young. Whoa.
Moms are special. So yeah, take care of her. And if there's anything I can do to help you at all, don't hesitate to give me a call.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you guys.
Okay.
But,
yeah, if there's anything we can do, we can do a telethon if you want.
Well, if you guys talk about KU and the reverse opinions apparently in the national media
right
this week.
Right. Who do you guys play this weekend?
Yes, Cincinnati at home.
Oh, you should win that.
Yeah, it's Parents Weekend, and then next week is on the road at Orlando against UCF.
Okay.
So likely, if you win those two games, then we head into Lubbock at 5-1. And
boy. That would be. Yeah, you guys got to give Texas Tech a run. We got to give them a run. Make Texas Tech earn it, right?
Those guys, they've had KU's number. I think we beat them 3 times in the entirety of the Big 12 history.
Is that right?
Yeah, we're not riding a real good record there.
That's crazy. Well, good luck to you this weekend, and again, keep in touch, okay?
Absolutely. I'll call in anytime.
Awesome, great. Right. To Town Hawk, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you calling in. You bet. We'll see ya.
Call from
Jackson Johnson, Meridianville, Alabama.
Jackson Johnson, Meridianville, Alabama. How we doing, Jackson?
I'm doing all right. Nathan, how you doing tonight, good buddy?
We've been pretty busy. I apologize that I haven't been more involved on your Voice of College Football channel, but Alabama has looked like they've turned the corner.
Oh, man, they've been rocking and rolling, I tell you what. But I do believe they can beat Georgia on Saturday. But I will say, the reason why I came and called tonight was because I wanted to talk a little bit about Mike Gundy Game 5. I mean, it's basically the end of an era in Stillwater,
yes,
so to speak. I knew he was going to be gone. I just didn't think it was going to be Tuesday at noon
I know.
or Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Yeah,
in
that's
your
what the
case.
Town Hawk just said too. Yeah, I agree with you.
Ugh. It was out of the blue. Like I figured they were going to have like something where it was just going to be, oh well, we've decided to part ways.
Right.
And I mean, I understand that losing to Tulsa is bad because you shouldn't be losing to Tulsa for the first time since 1998, and
No.
you shouldn't be losing at home in Stillwater to Tulsa for the first time since 1951, which was the same year I Love Lucy, and it was the year before Dwight D. Eisenhower got elected as president.
If there's anybody that knows its history, it's you, Jackson. I think that's fantastic, man. So now who does Oklahoma State look to hire then?
Honestly, I think they're going to have to look for Alex Golish from South Florida, kind of get him while the iron's hot. But they don't get him. G.J. Ken from Texas State's a good one. Brent Vegan from Montana State. I have been shouting his name from the Lund Tops for a year.
Right.
Get him from Montana State, and you're going to get a winner right there. And he knows how to win. He's learned it from Craig Bowl when he was at North Dakota State and Wyoming.
Right.
I can guarantee Brent Vegan's going to get you some wins if he's your Nets head coach. I mean, he may not be a sexy, flashy name, but he can build winners. And he's done it with Montana State.
Man, Oklahoma State doesn't need a sexy flash. They need a coach that's going to come in and work hard and win football games.
Agreed. And Brent Vegan from Montana State is that guy.
Excellent. Justin R. in the comments is saying, don't take my coach. He's a USF Bulls fan. USF has a coach that's definitely poachable.
Oh, agreed. I mean, if Golish does leave South Florida, which, I mean, he'll probably leave after this year or after 2026.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to be for Oklahoma State. It'll probably be for a bigger job.
Bigger job? Who's bigger than Oklahoma State? You're saying for like Mississippi State, or, I mean, what size are you talking about?
No. Oh, not for Mississippi State. Nah, They're happy with Jeff Lebby.
How about Florida?
That's a possibility, yeah.
Billy Napier needs to get run.
Oh Lord, he's been a disaster. I mean, you're in your fourth year as head coach, and you lose to South Florida, not because of a hard-fought game,
right?
But because you're looking down on them. You're looking ahead to LSU, and one of your players is spitting on the opponents.
Yeah, that was BS too.
That's one of the main reasons why you lose.
Yep.
Ugh, it's just terrible. It's undisciplined. And it's unsanitary as well.
Well, it's a lot of things that don't have to do with football. I know that. But, well, why don't you give us a quick preview of Alabama, Georgia?
Well, we'll say if he can give out that run game at Alabama, get your running backs ready, because Jam Miller is back. You hand him the ball long enough, you're going to be good to go. You got your running game all set, you'll be good. You get it. You make sure that Georgia defense is scared, you're good to go. Because, I mean, Ty Simpson's been putting video game numbers. I mean, I know it's against Louisiana Monroe and Wisconsin. It's not your daddy's Wisconsin.
Right.
It's still pretty good. I mean, putting up some great numbers like he did against Louisiana Monroe and Wisconsin, he can do that. And he's been trusting his instincts more. He does that against Georgia, it's going to be a great night for the Crimson Tide Athletes, which, by the way, is Georgia right now has the longest active home winning streak in all of college football with 34 straight victories.
Really? I didn't know that. That's cool. That's really, really cool to hear.
Well,
that's
here's
neat.
What's strange. Oh, here's what's stranger. Maryland being one of the 8 teams in all of college football that hasn't trailed all season this year.
Yeah, do you believe in Maryland?
Well, they played a pitiful Wisconsin team. I am
don't think they're
curious to see what
very
Malik
good.
Washington can bring. I hope they can do good enough. They can be good enough to make a bowl game.
Right.
The non-con games pitiful. Wisconsin, they really don't have any life.
Yeah,
But,
that's another
Washington
coaching situation, man.
Yeah, Washington, Nebraska, that's looking like a toss up for Maryland. But Maryland, UCLA. Oh, I was gonna say no game for UCLA should be on television.
No, they should be on ESPN Plus or something.
Oh man, that's
Roku TV maybe. They should be on Roku TV maybe.
Well, if you ever want
really
the kids to be put to sleep, if you want the babies to be put to sleep, put UCLA Northwestern on Nick Jr. That will do it every time.
Yeah, true TV to the max. All right, so one last thing before you go. Why don't you tell everybody about your Voice of College Football channel?
Well, Jeffrey and Only Talk Sports, Coach Snook and myself went over a little bit about our take on the annual opponent, what for Alabama, how we're playing Auburn, Tennessee, Mississippi State every year. And we even had a little debate about whether it was good that LSU isn't on the list or not. And we talked a little bit about an early preview about Georgia, but we're going to deep dive more into that tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, where Matt Green and Bo Underwood from Georgia at the Voice of College Football will join us for the preview. And I can tell you, it's going to be a fun ride. Tell your friends, family, cashiers, post about the magic we're making out about the Voice of College Football. And don't forget to tell everybody about the cashiers at Publix about the magic that Nate Bomber Brown and friends are creating all right here on CFB Mafia. Let's get CFB Mafia to 10,000 subscribers.
Let's go,
ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go. Before you leave, in the comment section, make sure you post a link to your channel, or at least give the name. People can find you. Sometimes I forget to ask people to do that. So let's get as many people over to watch that Georgia Alabama preview. That should be good this week.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be extremely fun.
That's like Super Bowl material in the middle of the season. That's awesome. All right, well, I'm going to let you go, Jackson. Thank you so much for calling in.
Oh, thank you, good buddy. It's always good talking with you and hanging with you, Nathan.
You too. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, man.
Okay, see you later.
See you later, man.
Jackson Johnson running his own Voice of College Football channel. I think it's just the Alabama channel on Voice of College Football, but I would invite you to Alabama Primetime Live right there. I encourage everybody to watch my where you can go watch that.
Call from
Steve.
Steve, which Steve is this?
I'm just calling to see how you're coming along with your CBA model. Now you know which Steve it is.
Oh my gosh, where have you been? No, I'm just teasing. Trading DMs with you all the time on Twitter.
Yeah. Hey, tell everybody that's a private joke. I'm not really giving you that.
Oh, I think they know. Steve and I go way back, so yeah, that is just an inside joke. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, one of the guys that may be considered for the Oklahoma State job is the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, Zach something. He played at Oklahoma State.
Oh, okay.
He's only 38 years old. I'm not going to say that's the guy they're going to hire.
Right.
Don't sleep on him.
The OC at Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. Zach. Gosh, Bomber. I can't remember his last name.
Zach Robinson. Fergie's saying maybe is it Robinson?
Yeah, I think it might be.
Okay.
Might be, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a guy to keep your eye on. I'm not saying he's the number one guy, but they'll talk to him. Let's put it that way.
You've been around the corner and around those Planet a few times. Where do you think Oklahoma goes from here? Sorry, Oklahoma State goes from here.
Boy, Nathan, they're as bad. I'll tell you what, not to jump subjects or anything, they're as bad as Wisconsin is. Teams that used to be physical, talented, competitive, beat you up. I mean, Oklahoma State and Wisconsin. I don't know where either of them go. I really don't. Wisconsin's, they'll sneak up and win a Big Ten title once in a while. Just 3 or 4 years ago, Oklahoma State was right there.
Yeah, it was
for a playoff berth. So there's a million different things that can be said about Gundy, but did he get too comfortable? Did he not adapt? What happened? What happened?
Yeah.
And where you go from here? I mean, Zach Robinson's only 38 years old. Do you take a flyer on that? I don't know if he's ever been a head coach, but I know he played at Oklahoma State back in 2005, 2010, somewhere in there. So that's a guy you might want to keep an eye on.
Okay, very good, yeah.
Other than that, shift gears a little bit.
Sure.
That Big Ten post today about the SCORE Act. I was a little bit baffled by it. I sent it to you this afternoon, and
let me see if I can find that. Give me a second.
Yeah, on the DM. But anyhow,
keep going. I'm listening.
It was like the Big Ten telling people to support Congress in the SCORE Act.
That's right. I didn't catch this before the show, but
and that tells me that maybe they pushed through because they've been short of votes getting that passed.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
And maybe somehow, if I was talking to a good friend of mine today too, and had a lot of respect for him and his knowledge and his takes on things. And he says, if we see SEC, ACC, Big 12 come in and post something like the Big Ten today, he said, then we know they got the votes.
That's
right. What I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. And
I posted that link that you shared with me, by the way. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, just a little strange that And I thought, well, this isn't the Big Ten conference posting this. This is somebody doing. No, it's the Big Ten that posted it.
The only thing that I have against anything with any of these acts, I think everything else can be negotiated. This. My biggest concern is the antitrust exemption for the conferences.
Yep.
I'm willing to go along with pretty much anything else, but
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. The antitrust stuff, no. I'll say it flat out. I like the way Cody Campbell's approaching things.
He's doing okay, isn't he?
I like his approach. I like what he says and how and what his reasoning is for what he said. You know? So I mean, I don't know that we need any politician on any kind of board for college athletics. Former politician, whatever. But what do I know? I don't know much.
Well, I mean, I think you know quite a bit.
Maybe
labor relations. You understand how kids how they might need to be represented to protect themselves and their own rights and their families. And what we should do. What we should do is now that Cody Campbell's come out from underneath the covers, you and I should sit down and actually break something down. Maybe we could do a short show video together, or we could describe kind of where we think these things are going right now. Because I think Cody is doing God's work right now.
Yep. And I'm not. I've told you many times before. I'm not against the CBA for.
Oh, I know you're not.
Athletes.
Yeah. No, in fact, you're a fan of it. You just want it to be done right. Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to be done right. It's just almost an impossible task, Jason. I mean, I know, the NLRB is going to get heavily involved, but they only have 2 people on their board. They're supposed to have 5.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they got issues. They got other issues, politics issues and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, they got regional offices, which would help all across the country. But how do you organize? Just leave college basketball, volleyball, everything out.
Agreed.
Just try to organize. Just try to organize college football.
Let's just do football.
What a monster. what a tough.
Well, and
task.
he's
But
taking
anyhow,
his reputation and he's putting it out there. He's not being
Yep.
lazy. He's actually going out and doing
Nope.
work.
Yep.
So,
And he's like, he's not. He doesn't shy away from the cameras.
right, of course.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's he's putting it out there out front. So we'll see how that all shakes out. And the other thing I sent you a couple of days ago. What do you think about that? All the TV slots and times we got for the Big 12 this weekend.
I was stunned.
That's great.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
I think it's competition that TNT is providing.
Well, that sure helps.
That's what I think it
guarantee
is.
You,
yeah.
I guarantee you there would be one of those games listed for this weekend that would have been on ESPN.
ESPN Plus, certainly. Yep.
There would have been,
Yeah.
And if people aren't watching TNT Sports or WBD, whatever you want to call it,
right?
You're not watching them. You're going to be surprised. Big 12 content they provide. They provide great content for the Big 12.
You want them to do it more and more. I want more.
Absolutely.
TNT.
Absolutely.
Yeah, their production value is incredible. So.
Yep.
All right, Steve, I got to let you go. Yep. I'm sorry, but let's talk offline. And I would love, now that we have some information from Cody and we're getting stuff from the Big Ten and from Congress, let's have a conversation about where this is at right now.
Hit me up when you get time.
I'll do it. Thank you. He is Steve, Ojai, Florida. It's good to see you, Steve. Thank you so much for calling in. Total respect for him. If you don't know him on Twitter, he did labor relations, union work, stuff like that for 60 years, something like that. So when he talks about how college athletes should or should not be paid, how they should be treated, he's top of the bar for me. So I love talking to him. Okay, Fergie, how are you doing tonight?
Good, Nathan. How are you doing?
As good as can be, we're getting
by. I see you started hot right into the Utah conversation and then kind of pivoted around.
I didn't mean to beat it up. I'm flabbergasted when I dropped it until somebody tells me that Ute goes on Greg's show and he's doing nothing but basically begging to go to the Big Ten. I don't have any sympathy for where Utah ends up at this point. And I know this, the Big 12's tired of their annex. They're tired of the way that they don't respect the rules, the way they're not getting along and being part of the club.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, they're not going to go anywhere. And I certainly don't think the Big Ten wants to bring in a school that has been a horrible partner for their current conference.
I think I texted you about or mentioned that I've had some booster conversations, especially at the last game about.
Right. I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Utah and Kansas. Kansas is doing things that they just think are proper preparation. Kansas is an OG member of the Big 8, Big 12. I don't think they want to leave, but I think they're smart enough to know that the future may hold for them, everything bluer skies. Utah, on the other hand, that I've talked to people who know them, they're just straight up kind of adopting the philosophy that let's just get out of here. Let's shoot for the moon. They could either shoot for the moon and be left completely out.
Yeah, they're not going to. I don't know where they're thinking they're going. There's not enough money to bring them in to a Big Ten.
I don't think so either. I still have a little bit of a philosophy that I still find that there's going to be a third conference. I think that I've kind of formulated my philosophy. I think I formulated a philosophy that if you were to create a third conference of I hate to use the term, the best of the rest, and if you could go to Notre Dame, and I'm not a fan of Notre Dame in any way, shape, or form, but if Notre Dame was allowed to say, if someone said, Notre Dame, I'll give you $200 million a year to headline a third conference, and all the rest of the people that will join it will be people you'll enjoy playing. They'll make great games, and they'll get paid $70 million. I'd go for it. BYU would go for it. I mean, a lot of people would go for it, and it would be a new media property in theory.
Yeah.
The SEC is a property. The Big Ten is a property. Everyone else is trying to become a property. So
I still think the Big 12 has the inside track on that.
I would agree. I would share you that the boosters feel strongly that what Colorado's AD is doing. First of all, he loves Yormark. He just loves him to death. He really trusts him. We're in a way better place like we should have been. I was actually going to tell you how many California players, even though we just left the Pac-12 like a year ago, how many California players do you think are on the Colorado roster?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Two.
Really?
we left the Big 12 to go to the Pac-12 because because of the California.
Those kids are going to USC. They're going to Oregon.
Well, California football's gone down. A lot of California kids have moved to Dallas. And
yes, they have.
To Phoenix, and so California recruiting is not your 1980s California.
It isn't. No.
So, but no,
the bastion that it used to be for the Pac-12 to say, but we have California. Those days are gone, and they've been gone for a while, actually.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about the weekend. Tickets are in hand. Got 2 BYU friends coming to town, so it'd be a nice time. It's going to be gold and blue. We're supposed to wear gold, which we cannot stand our stadium marketing
I don't
skills.
understand that.
Well, I prefer a blackout.
Sorry, not gold. I mean, why blue?
Well, your guys are blue. BYU.
Didn't you say gold and blue?
Yeah, so the gold. We're the gold. You're the blue.
Oh, you're saying there's a contrast. I thought you were telling me Colorado's running.
No,
blue,
I'm just giving you a description of what the stadium.
Yeah,
BYU's.
Any available tickets, BYU fans are going to scoop.
I know. I'm a little worried about that. I feel like a lot of times people like to make money on the most fan base. Like Nebraska games used to make people a lot of money. They'd charge them $200-$400. BYU will show up. Georgia Tech showed up. I thought there were 8,000 to 9,000 Georgia Tech fans, which is too many. You're only supposed to have 3 to 5, but I expect 12,000 BYU fans there. I really do. They'll travel well. My buddies are coming.
Do you know which uniform they're wearing? Is it Royal or is it Navy? I hate the Navy uniforms. I do. I absolutely hate them.
I would assume you're going to wear white because I think we're going to be
black.
Some black. We're actually still waiting to see a potential new uniform. We've never potentially a gold uniform. We don't know yet.
Okay.
But I'm assuming you're going to wear white, and we'll wear either.
See if I can find that out. Give me 1 second.
Gold.
Okay, so it's been a minute since you've been on the show. Why don't you kind of catch everybody up? Colorado was up preseason, then they went down. Now they're coming back up. I will just say this before I turn you loose, that I thought Salter played really well this last week. Wyoming gave Utah fits, and he did better than that. Yep. So kind of tell everybody what you expect from Colorado this weekend.
You know, I'm glad we're trending up. A week or two ago, I would have been worried that BYU was just going to boat race us again. And it could still happen, but at least what I'm sensing is that when Coach Prime missed the summer with his medical situation is terrible, I believe he didn't quite have the pulse of the team yet. I don't think he quite had the ability to tell Caden Salter what you're going to do, to tell Juju what you're going to do, to tell people what to do. And so it's been a feeling out. I mean, we looked competitive against Georgia Tech, but made dumb mistakes. The game against Delaware was too close for that level of play, but we played everybody. We played like 90 guys, like a preseason. The Houston game was a big thud. But I'd argue that what Prime did was he chose to teach Salter a lesson over winning the game, which sounds crazy and stupid, I know, but in a way, you know, we played our third string quarterback and it just didn't go well, and Houston ran the ball well. We have a huge weakness that you can exploit, which is QB run and a steady run game, and you've got a great setup for that. But I do feel like it's going to be competitive. I feel like Salter knows who he is. Everyone finally realized we have wide receivers like you would not believe. We really have. We have a kid that the epitome of the portal. This kid, Sincere Brown, 6'5", runs a 4.3, was at Campbell University in, I don't even know where Campbell is.
That's crazy.
And the kid, we all believe he'll be our first NFL pick this next draft. Like from Campbell to CU, if you watched him play, he is just, he's averaging 29 yards a catch. He's just uncoverable. So you guys do need to watch out for him. He stands out. He's 6'5".
Okay.
But I like where we're headed. I feel like it's a true transition year, but we're not going to call it a transition year because we've got like 30 seniors. So we're playing to win.
Yeah.
But we're also looking at a really bright next 2-3 years, like just a really, and I've always thought Prime's plan is the next 3 years. He signed the deal. We signed Juju. Our recruiting is picking up tremendously. And if he can stay focused and do what he needs to do, it'll be a good show. But it's crazy how the Big 12, like, and our schedule this year looks like the old, like, I don't know, the old Big 10. Like, teams are slowing the game down, keeping the ball away from us, running the ball, taking the entire play clock, and then the QB run game. Gosh darn, that is a tough thing to defend, the 11th guy. And I think one thing we do that we're really dumb, and I hope it changes. We love to brag that we play man on the corner. Well, you know what BYU will simply do? Just run everyone down. We'll man cover them, turn our backs.
Yeah.
You guys can run LJ or you can run the quarterback, and then you'll get 13, 15 yards. And that drives me crazy. Now, we can do the same thing now with Salter. You know, Prime and Salter
Of course you can. You bet. Yeah.
But Salter wanted to prove he could throw the ball, prove that he could be an NFL guy. And Prime kind of just yelled at him and said, I brought you here to be who you are. Be like Liberty. You know,
but let me just push back on that a little bit though, because part of his recruiting scheme is I'll get you to the league.
Agreed.
That's been something. So it's kind of distant. I like Dion, but it's kind of disingenuous to say you're going to hold a kid to a higher character type standard when at the same time to get him to come to Colorado, you say I will get you to the league.
However, what he's
saying
doing,
two opposite
but
things
what
at
he's
the
saying,
exact
but
same
what he's
time.
saying is it's similar to the way that you know, the Philadelphia quarterback plays, or like Lamar plays. You know, if you can show run options, if you can be RPO, if you can be creative, you can throw the ball. He threw for 300 yards and almost 100 rushing, 3 touchdowns. You know,
so
I think his point was he felt like he was caught trying to be something completely different, and that makes the plays not work. So it's kind of like, look, I want you to be a better thrower. I want you to show off, but we built an offense around you. And if we're not going to have your style of play, we might as well just, you know, go to Juju and start the future. So I'll give you my quick notes. I do believe the odds favor BYU. The line is 6.5, which is probably a rock solid, you know, Vegas line.
That's pretty spot on, I think.
I think it's spot on because I think a touchdown win would be the over and under at 47.5 is tough because I could see it grinding and getting a low score, but then I could see both teams just figuring it out and starting to just run. I know your defense is good, but I still believe there are yards to be had by our receivers, and if our offense has a good plan. We've changed our play calling from some really dumb bubble screen games and some really bad to better. I think our receivers would be a great option. We lost 2 running backs to injury last game, and that sucks.
Yikes.
So we're going to be a little short on running backs, especially one of our faster guys.
Well, that's a problem because you guys haven't rushed the ball well for a couple of years now.
No, but we're starting to figure it out. If you add in Caden,
that's great.
Here's the funniest thing, Nathan. Colorado can look like world beaters on rushing because we don't lose 50 yards on sacks. So, so we win one and lose one.
So you're getting ahead by not getting sacked all the time.
Exactly. It's better when you go forward than if you just flat out go backwards.
I like that. That's a good attitude.
I would say, you know, I'll be interesting to see how many BYU fans are there. I think it'll be an exciting night game. Nights in Boulder are dynamic. Ralphie, really proud that the school kind of dropped the ball on Ralphie 6 and then picked it back up quickly by secretly having a 7th one ready to go. We always wonder why they don't have
in production.
Well, the 6. Do you remember the Alamo Bowl? Do you remember what Ralphie did at the Alamo Bowl?
I don't remember. I wasn't watching.
She didn't run at all. She literally stopped and pretty much walked home. So it was.
Oh, okay.
Okay. She just wasn't ready to run. But this one is super. This one ran 20 some miles an hour. Like she's fast. So what's crazy is the visitors fan location is right above Ralphie's trailer. So a lot of the BYU fans are going to see. It's a great view of the run as it culminates.
Cool.
I'm curious. I have not watched all your film or seen it. Obviously, you won the games really well. The you feel confident on the defense. I have seen little moments where a little sloppy on penalties or a little bit sloppy on finishing, games. Maybe just
Finishing drives, certainly.
yeah, that type of
Yeah.
thing. Still a freshman quarterback. Has
Yeah.
he really played any? This might be his most maybe like game where there's going to be a crowd and there's going to be bigger
Yeah.
noise. So
Eastern Carolina was loud. They filled that up 50-50. They're very proud of
it's a
how
great
loud their
it's a great
stadium is
school.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Having never been there, I know I've always respected Eastern Carolina. They put out the best team they can on the field. At the end of the day, they do two things really well. They don't turn the ball over, and they can control the clock. And don't take it personal that they're trying to slow Colorado down. They're slowing everybody down. They want to
Yeah.
be the slowest offense in America for a reason, and that's because they want to lean on Jay Hill's defense.
Yeah.
Very opportunistic. You turn the ball over, you're probably going to give up a few points.
Yeah. We've turned the ball over one time in 4 games.
I don't think we have at all. At least it wasn't from the quarterback. It might have been a fumble, but the quarterback hasn't turned the ball over.
Yeah.
I would just say this, that I think Colorado played really well last week, and I think they're going to step up. They're going to have they're going to be prepared to have their best game of the year, and BYU is not going to look past anybody in the Big 12. At the end of the day, if you were to watch week 1 to week 3, they've only played 3 games. It's crazy. But week 1 through week 3, the improvement from Bear Bachmeier is day and night. If you watch just the second half of the game last week, he's doing the opposite of Devin Dampier. Devin Dampier is a 5-yard bubble screen, 6-yard out. He's throwing passes down the seam. The passes that I complained about that Jake Retzlaff could not complete last year, those are the passes he's doing. He's using the tight end, Carson Ryan. Could be an All-American this year. So I think it is probably going to come down to how much pressure you can get on him. And if you can pressure him into an interception or two, that will shorten the amount of time that the offense can control the clock.
Yeah.
Give you guys more possessions, which then you can get more points out of.
We do have a good
and
pass
we'll just
rush.
have to see.
I would say if there's one thing that we felt we were going to be strong at was pass rush. We've got about 5 or 6 really good pass rushers. Lost a few interior linemen. Had a rough game last week for some reason. Just kind of beat up some D linemen, beat up the running backs. But we have some really good rush ends. I think we're getting more creative on some safety blitzes. We got a safety finally in there, Byard, whose brother plays in the NFL, and he is just a absolute demon. He can come in and blitz and hit people hard. So I'm going to be excited. I'll be having a good pregame, and we'll get out to Boulder and see how it goes. The students are coming in strong, and this is the type of game where I could see the students and the crowd. I don't know. I mean, I can't think of BYU being in Folsom ever, and I don't know if you've ever been to Folsom, but
I have never been there.
It's like Oklahoma State. Your sideline is 15 feet wide. Like your players are our fans are literally on your players' necks. There is no sideline. There is no wider field. So sometimes people get shook. I think Georgia Tech was shook. They were a little like, these people are right here. They're pretty rowdy. Our students are probably, on a couple of substances. So it's a fun thing. But if I were a bettor, I would pick BYU. If I'm myself, I feel like we might really need this game if we're going to get to 6 or 7 wins at this point.
Yeah.
And I would say, though, our youth, we really got some incredibly talented freshmen and sophomores that the season's going to be kind of a tilting thing where if we play well and we can get some wins, everyone comes along. If we start losing, you got to play those kids because you got to retain your roster. So, and we're recruiting like crazy on the defensive side because we're pretty veteran on the defense. So.
We got a $2 super chat from Trent Brown. He's saying BYU versus CU should be highlighted on Fox or ESPN. I just had that list up. By the way, BYU's wearing royal and white, same uniform they wore in the bowl game, just so you know.
Okay.
Let me really quick. I will tell you.
We're 8:15 on ESPN again.
Yeah, so it's a late game again.
They keep just milking us. They keep like you. They just keep milking us at 8. We do not like 8:15 games.
And yet BYU loves it. So
I do not. We're luckily I was very happy to see that the TCU game next week was put at like 6:30, 5:30, 6:30, and I'm actually going to go. I'm heading down to that game too.
I mean, these are all as Steve said right before you got here when you just joined. We're all on the lowest broadcast network we're on this weekend is FS1, and that's the UCF Kansas State game, and you can understand why that might be on something else. But you got Cincinnati, Kansas on TNT at noon. Houston, Oregon State is on ESPN at 10:30. Let's see here. Utah, West Virginia is at 3:30. Baylor, Oklahoma. Baylor even gets a ESPN2 game with Oklahoma State.
Yep.
Arizona and Iowa State play at 7. I mean, that's crazy.
That's really good.
The Big 12 is last year we were relegated, as you know, to ESPN Plus for like half the season.
Well, what's crazy is Colorado has had now, I think someone said 17 straight major network games, and we've never gone on ESPN Plus, which I thought was the rule. But if the cow is putting out milk, you keep going because
I'd take it, man.
If CU can get 2 million a game plus, then the conference needs that. You know what I mean?
A lot of people are going to watch this game.
Oh yeah, this is a good. This will have enough thing. I know there was comments about Prime. Literally just loves Satake. Like he thinks Satake because of obviously religious and conviction and steadiness, faith and everything. I do believe, we've got our D line coach is oh God, what's his name? He's a oh gosh, now I can't think of his name. He used to be on the Broncos, but he's a friend of Sata. I mean, so there's so many connections between these coaching staffs and stuff like that. Here's my theory: tons of respect. But you embarrassed us. So we literally, if our guys don't have enough moxie to not say that was embarrassing, then that's the tragedy. I worry a little bit about these players who are paid now. I almost feel like they have an element of they're a little bit losing the element of being a naive college football player. I mean, they're a brand. They got money. They got a Venmo card with a couple tens of thousands of dollars. If you ever notice, they got these stupid chains on right now. So I mean, they're cool.
Yeah, believe me, I noticed. Yeah.
So it's kind of like an element of I really love to see them buckle down and focus. And I'm going to throw my 2 cents out. Texas Tech blew me away watching them play.
They're good.
I see a team that they've chosen. Yeah, they're getting paid, but first they're really mentally prepared. Joey's got them laser focused. And the biggest thing about that game is Texas Tech was better at every position than Utah. And that's crazy. And then imagine that their backup quarterback is a 4-star future stud. And they didn't lose it. In fact, people are kind of saying, is that kid better than Baron Morton? I mean, it's like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Baron Morton came in, but one thing you said before the game last week, Utah was going to tee off on Baron Morton, and they did. He is a statue. Yeah. This other kid can run, he has agility in the pocket. If I would ride the hot hand. I know.
Yeah. Or at least you feel good, or at least you feel good about the idea that you're not as worried about it as much. But there's no doubt. I mean, people commenting, our run defense is disappointing right now. There's no doubt about it. I don't know why. We were really good last year, and we didn't lose absolutely every interior. We lost 2 linemen that were good. Our BJ Green on the outside, and we lost a guy we used to call Block Bully, which was just a tank. He was like but the one guy that is slowly stepping it up, I think they've had to really work his mentality, is the Alabama transfer, Jaheim Otis. Okay. And he's going to probably start in the center, and he can wreck a game. So if the true Jaheim Otis gets to play and gets to, and this will probably be the first game we don't rotate as much. We've been rotating, Nathan, like every player. Like we're giving everybody a chance, like a preseason. And we have way too many NFL guys who think it is the preseason half the time.
Yeah, you do. Really.
And they literally act like it's the preseason, and it's like, guys,
Yeah.
there's no preseason. You got to go. And that's why, losing to Houston felt like the most preseason attempt of all time. So, but I'm excited. I was going to say anything else on the realignment. The Kansas, Utah over Arizona State, Colorado doesn't stack up in any means. I mean, market research, AAU, DMA, boosters, even alumni. The amount of alumni from the Big Ten in Denver, there's probably 500,000 alumni here. And it doesn't seem like it makes sense, but I get it. And I'm kind of less like thinking about the Big Ten. I will tell you kind of an interesting comment. A lot of our boosters actually believe Rick George has so many contacts in the SEC that if there's any thoughts of the SEC thinking about a Southwest maneuver, that Arizona State and Colorado and even Texas Tech would make good SEC. Let's say they all had to go to 24 or 28 or whatever.
We're only talking about reality if they go more than 20 teams.
Agree.
This is a silly discussion unless they decide to blow
Nathan,
the
there's a chance
go to 48.
There's a chance though that the networks just say, look, the NFL model is unbelievable, and if we really turn the screws to it and said both of you go to 25 or whatever it means, and we got an NFC AFC concept, then you would finish it all up and you would have these games. I think they're realizing they can't have body bag games anymore. You can't have FCS. I mean, when the better teams play each other all the time, the ratings at least jive with, the NFL's at the top, the NBA is second. I don't think people realize MLB is hurting. The MLB, unfortunately, people are not patient enough to watch baseball anymore. It's a beautiful sport, but the people just don't have the patience to watch it. They're barely, their attendance is somewhat at an all-time low. So you don't see people rushing around trying to jump on the baseball bandwagon as much anymore for TV. So just have to see.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to dive in full realignment again. I will just tell everybody that's at those schools that think they're going to get the call up from the Big Ten or the SEC just because are absolutely lying to themselves. That is not the reason something like that would happen. It would only happen is if there was some further consolidation. They did decide to go into a NFL type model, and they, went anywhere from 48 to 60 teams or whatever the number is they picked, and they split up the country and put them into conferences. That's the only thing we're talking about here that's even a possibility, and I don't think that's where it's going to go. I know there's people that are praying that they get that call. But there's not enough money in it yet to do that. I think we're well over a decade away from anything like that happening.
Agreed.
So if you're a fan of Kansas or Utah, you do you. Colorado, Arizona State, all kinds of super fans are out there selling these stories, and that's great. I just wish people would be honest about the likelihood that this actually happens, and the numbers do not play out that the Big Ten or the SEC needs to go to these big number conference, big size conferences.
I would agree.
I don't think so.
I would agree. I also think that the other sports, I know we talk football only most of the time, but Colorado is beyond thrilled to be in the Big 12 because our soccer teams and our people, they don't have to travel.
Sure.
It's a better world. It's a better.
Yeah, for sure.
And crazy thing is our women's soccer team was always competitive in the pack, but they're doing amazing because they're not traveling to all over the place to play soccer anymore. They get to go over to Utah, down to Kansas, to the nicest places. And like I told you, our roster, Prime can recruit the Texases and the Floridas. So having Central Florida, having Texas Tech, having Oklahoma State, having TCU, it's a win-win for us. It's who we are now.
Sure.
So
I think every school in the conference should be doing the exact same thing.
Amen. Amen.
All right. Well, that's going to about wrap it up. Was there anything else you wanted to get to? I don't have any more super chats or anything.
I'll give you my 2 cents on Oklahoma State.
Yeah, please do.
Always loved that program in a sense, kind of old school Big 8. we sent a coach down there from one of our premier staffs, Bob Simmons. I know he didn't have a great run, but it was fun. Barry Sanders, easily one of the greatest players. Gundy is hilarious. He's a personality. We need those kind of personalities, but I can't believe he took a program that used to be a quiet NIL. They were a team that had money. They had bag money back in the day.
Yep, they did.
And for him to kind of like, my understanding, he doesn't even hardly recruit or go to the boosters, or, I mean, they've been dying to fire him. And I do believe they have a chance to get a good coach, but they're going to have to start over from scratch.
Yeah.
So that's, I feel bad for him. I feel bad it ended the way it ended, but I did listen to the guys on 3 had a great comment. When you're paid that much, when you're that guy, even if you've done everything in the world, they have every right to fire you. If it's
absolutely, and boo you and do those other things. That's it. Comes with the big bucks. You have to be willing to stand up to that crap. And he reached his limit. Dabo Sweeney sort of reached his limit last week. Kyle Whittingham, you saw the stuff about the continued nonsense out of his operation and the injury reports and everything. I mean, these old school guys, they're trying to adapt to an NIL transfer portal world. The oldest of the old are not doing so well.
Yeah.
So, you can look across the country, and those programs that have those coaches that have been there forever. There's a reason why Saban left Alabama when he did.
He did.
Because transfer portal and NIL were going to change his life, and he didn't want to deal with it anymore.
No doubt. It's tough. It's a different world, and you got to understand how to play it.
I appreciate that. Well, thank you for coming on and spending a few minutes with me tonight.
No problem. I hate to cheer. I hate to loudly cheer against your team all Saturday
that's
night,
okay.
But I will be cheering against your team.
I just want to see a good game. I just love watching these fantastic programs going at it, and we have a lot to prove. You guys have a lot to prove. I've got a lot to prove. The schools do whatever they can, but at the end of the day, it's the fans that have to carry the ball. Trent Brown, another $2 super chat, says, thanks, everyone. Have a blessed night. Trent, you have a blessed night, too. I will see you soon. Okay, Fergie? Thank you so much for everything you do for us.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.